Hello, friends. Ronnie Lozana here. I want to spend the next 15 minutes talking to you about something that I feel is important. And I'm thinking about choosing your battles. Choosing your battles. First of all, is who is it that you're having this interaction with? Is it somebody you love? Something you care, someone you care about, a daughter, a son, a wife, husband? Okay. If so, do you see this as a battle when you're in an argument? Okay. A battle is a fight. You're in it to win the fight if it's a battle. Is that the way you see things? Or are you just trying to find the answer, resolution? Are you in it to because you care about what's going on and you want to fix it? Okay. So my perspective right now is I am in the last chapters of my book of life. I am looking at reviewing pages. I'm reviewing chapters going back years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, looking from the outside of the window, looking in. I'm not that person anymore. I'm not engaged in that conversation and the interaction. I'm just looking at them. I'm really just reviewing the tapes in my mind of what happened, and I'm just sharing that with you. Okay? I'm not looking for right or wrong. I'm just sharing my stories. So two people talking to each other, engage in a heated conversation. It could be two daughters, mostly out of the picture. One person avoids the talk. One person says, "Not now, Ronnie. Don't have time. I'm busy." Okay. Or totally ignoring your presence because you all just aren't getting along. You need that space. And we've been told, respect that space. Or one person leaving the room and it triggers the response of, "I'm following you. Go into the other room, I'm there. We need to talk this out." So you have the directly aggressive type of person. You have the passive aggressive type of person. The passive aggressive type of person in my situation will not discuss it yet stab here and there, jab at you when the opportunity comes and just make little comments. And you're saying, your response, of course, is, "What do you mean by that?" Or, "What did you just say? What did I just hear?" "Oh, nothing, and just leaves it alone. But it's there, it's hidden, but she kind of like using it sometimes. Okay, so it's a situation, right? This leads to a trouble, to an issue in your marriage, of course, because it's always there. Okay, so I want to share some of my story about this. Okay, passive aggressive. I didn't realize that my wife was passive aggressive when we worked together for years. And when I met her family, I realized they're all passive aggressive. Very intelligent, UT graduates, bachelor's degrees all over the place. Very intellectual people. Okay, but they end up writing letters to each other. Back before 2015, my wife spent a lot of time writing a letter to her father about a situation. Father mailed a letter to her about a situation. These were handwritten letters, by the way. It wasn't email back then, okay, or smartphones. Okay, so she spent days on this letter to respond, but passive aggressive all the way. And so, well, the goal is to work things out, okay? It's not to have the last word either. I'm talking to myself as an aggressive type of person. The goal is to work things out. If your goal is to have the last word, if you're sitting there thinking about, this is the next thing I'm going to say, when she's talking or he's talking, ask yourself what your goal is, okay? If you're thinking about, I know what I'm going to say next, when he's done, your goal is to win the fight. It's not just listening, okay? Remember I said, be slow to talk and listen, okay? So in my situation, we had marriage counseling even before we got married. We had 2 marriage counselors before we got married, okay? And one marriage counselor just said to me and her, if I was looking at your household and you all were together, I would remove you talking to her, remove you from that household right now. Okay. You are just totally, these are her words, totally the most incompatible people that should not be living together. And of course, we were madly in love with each other. We had we would drink a lot, we'd party a lot, but we worked hard as well. We were caregivers, okay? We worked at a cancer center together. All day we were working with cancer centers. We were caregivers, but at night, with the department, I have to say, our dinner was at a happy hour, so we did a lot of partying. But when the issues came along and the booze was not part of the picture, we didn't know how to handle it. And we didn't handle it very well. So that was before we got around. That was one counselor. The other counselor actually made us sit down and listen to each other and work over the communication dynamic. 2 chairs, 2 people. He was kind of in the third chair and said, let's talk, Ronnie, let's talk about what happened this week. Tell us something that you remember about this week. What did she say? And how did that make you feel? Okay. And she would do that too. We would take our turns. If while she was talking, I were to jump in, I'd say, nah, but she would say, no, it's not your turn. It's not your turn. Listen. Okay. Then when she was done, I would have to repeat what I heard her say. And he would make us do that. Okay, what did you hear her say, Ronnie? So I would repeat it, and sometimes I missed the point. Sitting right there, no distraction. I still missed the point. And he'd say, I'm not going to say her name. Is that what you said? And she would say, no, that's not what I said. And so so I'm thinking now, it's amazing how much your mind is hearing things. She may not be saying it or not saying it in a way that your mind picks up what she wants you to hear. Okay. At home, things go so fast at home, and you're ready to respond at home. You're ready for I'm going to get her back. It's crazy how that's so important to learn how to talk to each other and listen to each other, not jumping in. Okay. I even started taking notes, because even sitting in that chair, we're talking a long time ago, actually. We weren't married. This is before 2015. We got divorced in 2020. I started taking notes. I asked, is it okay to take notes? Because in my mind, when she was saying something, I had no. I had my response. I'd say, yeah, you remember? That was the way you saw it. It didn't happen that way. So I started taking notes because I'm a type A kind of person. I take notes. I check things off. I do things on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays to get through my week. It's very structured. It's just the kind of guy I am. What I know today is that talking is important. Communication is important. The word empathy, we had to use that word. Do you empathize? Do you understand how that made her feel, Ronnie, when you said that? And the same thing with me. Okay. But what came out of that, really, what I remember is the root of your behavior. Why do certain things make me feel that certain ways? And the root of your behavior is what you need to identify. It's kind of like a weed growing in the grass. You cut that weed at the top, the root's still there. It's going to come back. You have to pull the whole damn thing out. You have to kill it, because it's coming back and it's going to multiply. Those are weeds. Those are the weeds in our mind. Those are the old tapes that are still in our subconscious that we have to deal with, because that triggers your behavior. That's going to trigger your response, okay, to something similar. You talked about the old brain. The old brain recognizes that. It's a shadow. In her case, the old brain was, and this is my perspective because she still has not talked about it. The old brain was her dad. She had she moved out of their house, to go to college as quickly as she could. She couldn't stand living at home. She specifically couldn't stand her dad. Okay. And couldn't even call him dad, couldn't call him father. It was him, he, you know, just didn't call him father or dad. So there were issues there. I know they were. And I think the old brain, her dad's an engineer, bachelor's of engineering, and I'm that kind of mechanical, technical kind of guy as well. And I think we should maybe some of the same behaviors that triggered something in her. Okay. So in my case, very insecure. I think, I grew up. Okay. And I'm here to say it the way it is, whether it's offensive or not. I grew up thinking, okay, I'm San Antonio, West Side San Antonio. I'm a Mexican. I'm small. I'm not big framed. I'm not a fighter. I never have been. I don't drink beer. I hate beer. I don't eat jalapenos. I'm that kind of guy. But in my mind, I married somebody who was the love of my life. She's beautiful, blonde, white, Caucasian, intellectual, UT grad woman, everything you would want. However, my insecurities got the best of me. Even that was my second marriage, okay? I was married at 19 years old. And I stayed with that woman 10 years, no children. But I have insecurities that have never been dealt with, going back to my mom. Okay, I'm not good enough. Okay, my dad, never knew my dad. He died at 5. Okay, there were other men coming around after my dad was gone, and I was 12 years old. And I had this jealousy problem, guarding my mom, jealousy problem. And I think that creeps up, it crept up. Didn't feel good enough. I felt, oh, you're going after him. You're really with me, but you want him kind of person, And I have memories of having issues with my girlfriend at that time, sitting in a club. She's looking over my shoulder, and I'm like, oh, she's looking at that guy. She's not, I'm talking, but she's not even looking at me. She's looking at him. Okay. And the direct person that I was, what do you see in that guy? Why are you looking at him? Very direct. And it's like, where are you coming from? What are you talking about? So insecurities. So, and I feel, I know they're there now. At work, it was the same situation. She would question my work when it would come to her for a patient or treatment plan of some sort. She would have to verify it with someone else, of course, because they work in another department to verify things. And I go, what, you don't trust me? It's not good enough for you? You have to get verification? Yeah, that was the kind of guy I was, or maybe am. I don't know. So, in my situation is, I have her. She's mine. You can't have her. I know you want her. And it was like in my mind, the whole world wanted this woman. She's beautiful, but so I was never at peace with myself. Insecure person. And it is not a good thing, So in her old brain, she was the other type of she was the other type of, I'm not talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not aggressive. Okay. In the very first argument we had at a home, we started living together, was she ran to the bathroom, locked herself in the bathroom for hours. And I was like, what? What is it? She's like 27, 28. I'm 30. Why are you? I was thinking, is she suicidal? What's going on here? She can't talk about it. She's locking herself up. I can hear her crying in there. I ended up calling her parents and asking, why is she doing this? And her mom said, is she still doing that? Is she still locking herself in the bathroom? So that was the way she would handle situations. And you just have to learn who your partner is, So counseling after marriage, still dealt with some of our issues. We're going at the end of 15 minutes, so I'm going to try to wrap this up. The important thing I have to say right now for this is, communication is a big deal. You have to learn to not fight about things. You have to learn to take it slowly. It's not a fight. It's not about who has the last word. It's about understanding each other, understanding the core, the root of your behavior, understanding, okay, this is what makes him feel this way. I need to support that. I need to reassure him, this is me. I'm here for you, and thank you if you think the whole world wants me, but that's not the situation. I'm here for you. I'm committed. So, you have to kind of slow down. Okay, we're going past 15 minutes. I hope this says something to somebody and it helps you out. And there's more to come. So the next segment will continue some of what we learned during counseling. And have a good day. Signing out. Bye-bye.